The End of Everything by Plini. Yeah, of course, that I had to, finish off what I started 3 days ago. And finally, we have the final EP in the trilogy, or at least that's what I think, because as the name implies, this is the end of everything and the end of the run for these little three EPs, which only has three songs. However, one of them is actually really long, so I guess it compensates, because in terms of length, this is just 1 minute shorter than Sweet Nothings. The first song actually sounds a lot like the third song from the Other Things EP, which I guess is the first one in the trilogy, from what I could understand. It's heavier because, well, the song is called The End of Everything, so I guess that would make sense. And then we go right on to the second song called Wombat Astronaut, which just validates the vibes I have on the Sweet Nothings EP review. This image of a, dreamy you going on an adventure through space. See, it's all connected, I told you, like I was getting vibes of that. So, but the second song is basically just much closer to Sweet Nothings, which means, it's much more chill, it's much more dreamy. There's a certain toned down vibe to everything, right? Every sound is much more cared for. There's a lot of feels of wonder, especially, right? It's basically a great resting point between the two epics of the EP, because then we go to Paper Moon, which actually starts incredibly heavy. However, since it's the last song of the EP and it's the longest one, it does sort of send you on this journey, touching on the heavier sides, but then on the more calm sides, and eventually building back up to culminate on this sort of epic ending where, finally we got to the end of the story. Personally, this EP was actually super chill, and alongside Sweet Nothings has to be something that I'll constantly revisit. I feel like I just feel that these EPs will definitely stick with me for a very long time. Also, I love the touch of the visualizers being different depending on the song you're on. So I've already talked a lot about the covers and the cover art being really important for the atmosphere and the vibe of the EPs and everything. But the first song, the first visualizer of this EP, on the first song, it starts with a little house with a little wombat ship, and then you have the second song, which has this little wombat standing and the ship next to him, his little spaceship, and then the ending song has both the house from the first song and the Other Things Island on the same frame, and the song is actually called Paper Moon, because the name also alludes to the cover art of Sweet Nothings, which is a paper moon with a rocket ship on it, right? It's really cool, it's fantastic work, because, and to reiterate, these little touches on the visualizers, because, they are just visualizers, they're not full videos or anything like that, they really just complete the atmosphere of the EPs, right? They connect them together without, needing to do a lot of work, and it's something that more artists should definitely pay attention to, right? Because it's so cool to not just all of them sort of have the same art style, meaning that you can more easily connect them together to each other, because then when you actually listen to them, you can see that the sound is actually somewhat close to each other, and when you connect all of the songs, you can kind of feel this big journey that you can go on, right? A lot of it was just me sort of sitting there and visualizing a little, companion that you have going with you on a dreamy space adventure, right? And the visualizers really help sell that idea, sell that atmosphere. Again, the visualizer, the cover art of albums, EPs or whatever is so important, and you don't really need full videos for it, right? Visualizers are enough, you just really need to pay attention to the little details, because the people listening will definitely pay attention to the little details. But yeah, now that the journey is done, I feel like I can speak a bit more in general, and honestly, if I were to put all of this together, they would fit incredibly well. They create this immense atmosphere that you can vibe to, it's super dreamy, and now that you have, the name of the songs, a Wombat Astronaut and everything, you can almost, if you re-listen to everything, you can almost see a little wombat going through space on little adventures, having to deal with different things and whatnot, having to deal with, also a little bit of heavier things, the existential of just being alone in space, but also coming across, little paper moons and everything. Like you can imagine essentially the entire story in your head while listening to these EPs. And at the same time, you don't even need to put that much effort into it. You can just vibe with the songs are really good, but the images, the atmosphere created by the songs and the cover art just creates this story in your head. Like the images just pop up in your head. You don't need to really try and like build a story. The story just happens, instead of you viewing it, you just listen to it, right? So I mean, I guess in a way you could say that you're dreaming, right? It's a dream, yes, I'm super fucking pleased with Plini. It's definitely an artist that I will definitely cover more on this channel, because I want to cover, like, there have been bands that I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see what they've done next and whatnot, and see what they have more to offer. But Plini is that artist where I'm like, I really cannot wait to get my hands on, especially the more modern stuff he's done, because again, like, these EPs are from 2013 to 2015. Right, they're over 10 years old, and they're this good, and they're just EPs, by the way, right? So honestly, if this is the EPs, I cannot wait to hear like what he has in store, especially when it comes to the full albums that is actually put out. Will they hold up? Will they actually just get super repetitive? Will they lack the vibes that these EPs have? I don't know, honestly. I can't wait to see, and I am so excited to put my hands on it. And like, out of all of the artists that I definitely want to explore more, that I've already explored on this channel, this is the one that I'm like, I really cannot wait to do more of Plini. But for this EP, the vibes and the vibe meter is telling me a 10 out of 10, no questions. I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and we've already crossed the month of me doing this every day, so I also cannot wait to see what I have stored in myself, because I did not imagine I would go this long doing a review every day, but we still have like 960 days to go.